Not even pedaling, going 41.
This is the latest and greatest wired freedom electric bike with peak power output of 3,200 watts and a claim top speed of over 35 miles an hour.
Woo! 43.
We already know this thing's a beast. It runs on 60 volts, and now we get dual batteries for improved range. They say we can do up to 90 miles on a single charge. Probably not the way I ride, but we'll see today.
Yeah, I feel like that front wheel's about to come off the ground. It's putting out so much power.
Current list price is $1,999, and the link below this video in the description box. And if you do decide to grab one of these, click on that link down there before you buy it if you want to help support the channel. I would definitely appreciate your support. But don't buy this thing just yet. We gotta review it first.
Oh, motor temperature is 384. Let's see how hot the controller and motor and stuff is. Oh yeah, that's
Give me my phone!
43. Hopefully the brakes work.
Looks like here's the main battery. And now we get a second battery installed on the rear rack. And of course it's rolling on the 26 by 4 inch fat tires. These ones in particular are the Kenda Crusade. Sounds like we got a metal fender there. Knobby tread. And the brake rotors are big. They are 203 millimeter made by Gemma with a thickness of 2.3. Big brake rotors. And also it has a through axle. This is definitely a good feature to have on a bike that goes over 35. And here's what it looks like when you get out of the box. As you can see, we have the black frame on this one, but on the official company website, linked below the video in the description box, there are a variety of different colors you can roll with. And let's take a closer look at the two things on this bike that set it apart from 99% of the bikes on the market: the controller and the 60 volt Hentech steel reinforced nylon geared hub motor. Website shows what those steel reinforced gears look like. You don't see this on the typical fat tire e-bike. Makes the motor way stronger and durable. Says it can do 3,200 watts peak, which is pretty outrageous. For those who are interested, here's all the exact numbers on the side of the motor. How's this spot? Ready to go? And on the back side of it, it actually has the wired logo on the other side of this motor. On the rear, we get the same 203 millimeter rotor rolling on 4-piston Gemma hydraulic brakes. Again, 4-piston is not typically seen on e-bikes in the industry. Website says it has high heat ceramic pads. There's a little peek at the ceramic pads. Of course, it is full suspension with a D&M air shock on a 4-bar linkage. But first, let's look at the controller. On the previous Wired Freedom, it had like a little plastic box with a controller in it. That plastic box controller was susceptible to heat buildup. Looks like they have changed that. No more plastic box. Website shows it as a 45 amp 60 volt controller, wired branded Patriot systems. Here's a closer look at all the text on it. 45 amps rated for 22 amps continuous. Pretty big time power. Of course there is front suspension. Rear suspension is the D&M 808RC. Nothing new here. This is a good shock. Here's your adjustments for rebound and compression right here. And it is an air shock, so you can set it up to your particular weight right here with an air shock pump. Looks like Light Pro crank arms. We'll take a look at that chainring and gearing in a minute. Front fork is the RST guide. In my experience, this shock's been pretty solid, and it's got an adjustment for the preload on the left stanchion, and over on the right stanchion you can adjust how firm or soft you want it with clicks in between. It's got the same Gemma 4-piston brake up front, and let's take a look at the axle. Well, maybe put the handlebars on first. Of course, it's still got the signature riser BMX bars. Set of keys for each battery. Rear battery is easily removable if you want to roll a little bit lightweight or with a little less weight. Looks like Zephyr has joined the party. And this thing is not light. Rear battery is 60 volt, 15 amp hour, 900 watt hours of energy with Samsung cells. Quality cells, always important on an e-bike. Looks like he wants to check and see what's in that box. We'll let him work on that one. And where the main battery resides, well, he's distracted. And this one is a 60 volt, 20 amp hour, 1200 watt hours of energy. Also Samsung cells. Well, he quit. Guess we'll pick up where he left off. Ow, mother. Oh, God. Careful not to cut yourself on these boxes. It's always the times you least expect getting injured when you get injured on e-bikes, man.
What are you eating?
Looks like he's in trouble. Pedals are Welgo metal. Little headlight for front. Owner's manual, so you can unlock everything. I think this thing ships as class 2. You can definitely unlock it to off-road mode. Nice little touch wire does. They give us a little touch-up paint, black on this bike. All the specs. And a single charger for those batteries. Branded wired. 60 volts charged up to max is 67.2 volts. 3 amp charge rate. Total of 35 amp hours. However, there is another box here, which there might be a second charger. Indeed. So copy paste of the first 3 amp charger. So that would be 35 amp hours divided by 6 amp charge rate. So about 5.5 hours to charge both batteries from completely empty to completely full. Maybe a little bit closer look at those brake pads. And the through axle will also have a quick release on it. Best of both worlds. So this side screws securely into here, and then your final snug up happens right here. This way you can quickly remove the front wheel in case you need to transport this bike or get that front wheel off for some reason. And you also have the benefit of a through axle. Rear rack comes installed except for this one bolt here, which I'm finding a little difficult to line up. So I'm gonna take that one out, put that one on first. Yep, that worked just fine because these bars right here have just a little bit of give to them. Seat post is 31.8 millimeter, just in case you want to swap it out. It does have a wired quick release, so you can easily adjust it. Seat is still wired brand, appears to be the same as the OG to me. Lightweight minimalist headlight installed and metal fender installed. Tires call for 30 PSI max. I'm gonna run them at 20. Let's get a quick weigh-in on this bike. See how much the bike without the battery weighs. Picking the whole thing up. Scale says 271.2 minus my weight of 190.2, so 81 pounds with no batteries. And then the main battery weighs in at 14.8, and the back battery weighs in at 14.8. What? How could they both be the same? This one's smaller, right? Maybe electronics and stuff on the inside actually feel the same. Yeah, all right. Scale don't lie, or do it, I don't know. So let's flip this thing around. Got that evil sounding motor. Ooh. I love the sound of it going in reverse. So there's a little protector here for any chain slap or debris. And 7 gears on the rear cassette. It's got a Shimano tourney derailleur with a derailleur guard in case you knock it over, you won't damage all this stuff. And a giant 56 tooth chain ring. It's also Light Pro, 56 tooth. It's got a guard on the outside, not the inside. We'll see if we lose it at all. And I think you know what time it is. Let's get that battery in there. Might as well slide in the rear one too. And let's get this thing fired up in a minute. We get ergonomic grips, faux leather. Here's our controls, little bell, display front and center, and of course the all-important quarter twist throttle, 7-speed Shimano shifter, and the Gemma hydraulic brake levers that match the rest of the Gemma brake system. So let's hold that on button, power this thing up. Wired bikes. So it looks like we get motor temperature in Fahrenheit. Probably a good idea so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. Then we get our battery readout in terms of 4 bars, as well as 85% listed in percentage. Power output. This appears to be very similar to the other display. Maybe slightly different actually, but you get 5 levels of pedal assist. And I believe this thing comes locked. Oh, you can turn your headlight on. So headlight. Fairly bright headlight. I like that it's lightweight and minimal. That rear light is actually really bright. If you grab the brake lever, you get a brake light as well. Oh, it actually has like a flashing mode too, so that's kind of unique. It makes the brake light a little bit more obvious if it's off and you grab it. And then you get this light up here too. So backup light or double light. And then to unlock everything, you probably gotta do maybe hold the set button. Oh yeah, ooh, nice menus. So they improved the menus, that's cool. Before it used to be all these cryptic C values, so it looks like this is nice and user-friendly. See what is in general settings. Speed units, mileage units, temperature units, sleep, power, cruise fun, cruise function, cruise will be fun. Okay, so you can do voltage or percentage. Percentage is probably more useful. Return, advanced settings. So class 2 is set class 2 out of the box. So we'll leave it there for now, which is 20 miles an hour, 32 kilometers an hour is 20 miles an hour. Start strength, oh, start strength. So start strength is set on 1 out of the box. We definitely gonna have to be playing with this stuff while riding. And then assist PWM. So it looks like we could change how much power we get on each pedal assist level possibly. Super convenient. Man, e-bikes are really just getting better. We got touchscreen? No, not yet. Maybe next year. All right, I really don't want to mess anything up quite yet. It's probably good as is. Return information. And let's see how big this bike is. Just kind of feel it out before we get out there. So I am 6'5", seat is on maximum height right now. Handlebars are, well, the BMX high rises. This is a big electric bike. My inseam is 34, hopping aboard here. Oh yeah, rear suspension's feeling good, good as ever. Same rear suspension as before, same front suspension as before. Here's what my pedal stroke looks like with the seat on maximum height. And I'm gonna drop that seat down to minimum height. Kind of step out over here. A little bit of a step over height there. And man, suspension. I'm so used to this trash suspension I've been sitting on all these bikes I've been reviewing lately. This feels good. But here's what my pedal stroke looks like in Scene 34. And before we unlock it, let's just give it a rip on Pedal Assist 5 in Class 2 mode. I'm feeling Class 2. Come on, Mark. I know you got more than that. Let's unlock it and get the freedom. So we'll do Class 2 no. Turn that off. And do speed limit 99 kilometers an hour. Alexa, what's 99 kilometers an hour in miles per hour? 61.5, huh? All right, so they say 3,200 watts. Let's give it a rip. Pedal Assist 5, ready, go. Yeah. Feels like about 3,200 watts. So check it out. Unlock mode, full throttle, ready, go. 49.7 miles an hour with no load. Let's look at the wattage there, man. I can't wait to get this out to ride it. This thing is an absolute monster. Although Wired did just announce the Predator. So if you guys want to see the Predator on the channel, drop a comment, leave a comment, email Wired, email Steven, the owner of Wired. Let him know we want to see it on the channel. I would absolutely love to get that bike on the channel, but I'm looking forward to getting this one out, so let's do the thing. All right, dudes, let's check out the new dual battery Wired Freedom for a ride. Of course, we're gonna check our official distance on these dual batteries, see what the percentage is when we get back. Fire this thing up, sitting at 100% there. Keep an eye on that motor temperature today. Starting out at ambient room temperature. And let's hop aboard this beast. So let's just throw this thing on Pedal Assist 1 here and get off to the races. All right, so very first thing we're gonna do is run it up to 20% grade. We'll just put on Pedal Assist 5 and see what it can do. I weigh 200 pounds, we'll do throttle only, no pedaling, full throttle. Oh yeah, showing 3,400 watts there, so absolutely crushing the 20% grade as expected. Yeah, 3,400 is showing there, 3,400 watts that is. And on this newer version, we have the 45 amp controller. So the last Wired Freedom I had, I believe only had a 40 amp controller, which is still ridiculous, but I mean 45, that just dials things up even more. So this display is a little bit different. I can still see it through the polarized lenses. Excellent, love this display. Love that it shows wattage. Let's go ahead and just crank this down. Pedal Assist 1, I have it on gear 3. I'm gonna dial it down to gear 1. Somebody's honking their horn at me back there. Thanks, bro. So it's a cadence sensor. Let's feel out the cadence sensor here. Gear 1, we have to crank it all the way to gear 4. It's already going 15 miles an hour on Pedal Assist 1, giving about 600 watts of consistent power output here. 17 on Pedal Assist 1, my goodness. These jumbo BMX bikes are just my absolute favorite with all this power, man. So yeah, it gives a, you know, gentle 600 watts here on Pedal Assist 1. Let's try Pedal Assist 2. Oh yeah, dials things up, gives about 1,200 there. And already on gear number 7, cruising at about 25 with 1,200 watts here. So I absolutely love that they have dual batteries on the new Wired Freedom, because when you're drawing this much power, you really just need a lot of battery to keep going this fast without running out of battery relatively quickly. We'll try the lock setting. We'll switch it to Class 2 later, see what it's like. But ain't nobody buying this bike to ride in Class 2, or are you? I don't know. So Pedal Assist 2, let's just, oh my goodness, yeah. Yep, we got the juice on this thing, man. So Pedal Assist 2, the stock programming, you can change the programming. Let's see what throttle will do on Pedal Assist 2. So it'll take us beyond Pedal Assist 2 speeds, meaning we could put it down to like Pedal Assist 1 and still get full access to the power. And I actually like this system because then you can kind of use the pedal assist system to, you know, limit how much power you're getting. But if you need access to all the power, say you're on Pedal Assist 1,
and you know, you're just cruising 600 watts, and so you need instant power, boom, you got it right there. Some e-bikes still have the throttle cut off at, you know, the pedal assist 1 level, so throttle would do nothing on pedal assist 1. And from a slow speed here, let's crank it down to gear number 1 here. Feel out the cadence sensor a little bit here. Actually, pedal assist 3. Let's just start pedaling now. Yeah, about half rotation on the pedal, delay on the cadence sensor. That's healthy. You don't want the cadence sensor to kick on too soon, because then it might send unexpected power bursts. And on a bike with this much power, you really don't want to be sending 34 or 3200 watts unintentionally. So pedal assist 3 will give us about 1800 watts, which is basically like already double the normal fat tire electric bike on the market. And I absolutely love that they went to the through axle on this and 4-piston hydraulic brakes as well. Really, I mean, this thing's more of a light electric motorcycle than a bicycle. Oh yeah, power. So good suspension, you know, D&M. There are better suspensions out there, you know, like the RockShox, you know, stuff like it just costs more. This is a really good basic suspension for a $2,000 electric bike, in my opinion. So let's get out here, try pedal assist 3. Still able to keep up with that 56 tooth already on pedal assist 4 here, doing 38. Woo! Ah, this thing's got the juice, man. Wheelie! I don't think we can do any wheelies going 40, but this thing could definitely do some wheelies. So compared to the OG Wired Freedom, having that battery back there, you can definitely feel that weight over the rear just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how the handling on this one pans out through the day. But let's see how fast it accelerates. All right, so let's give this thing a 0 to 20 acceleration run. I'm gonna do throttle only. I weigh 200 pounds, ready, go. Whoa, my goodness, GPS is on the left. And 20. Very, very, very fast electric bike. I believe that feels faster even than the OG, despite the extra weight with the extra batteries on there, because we have 5 more amps of current. Let's see if I can watch the wattage meter here as we take off. So I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the wattage meter here. Ready, go. 34. I saw it show 34 momentarily. 3,400 watts, that is. We're not going that fast. It's unbelievable how many people just walk out on the bike paths without even looking. Like, how are those people still even alive? Let's see if we can get a little air hop in this thing here. Yes, sir. So suspension on this thing is perfection, in my opinion, at $2,000. The RST guide fork on the front is good, and then you got the 4-bar linkage with the D&M shock. I didn't even mess with the pressure in the D&M shock, but you can dial that in. So let's get a top speed run in. Check this out. We have like a Mustang look-alike Ferrari, like look at those lights on there, and then like an actual Ferrari right here. What else would you have in LA? So let's get a top speed run on in this thing. I'll bump it to pedal assist 5. Ready, go. Not pedaling at all. We might start pedaling later. 35. My GPS is on the left here. 39. I'm gonna get a little arrow. 39. 41. My goodness, dude. So not even pedaling, going 41. 43 according to the onboard, and my GPS says 40, 41. I could pedal and go a little faster. 42. Woo! This is not safe. 43. Yeah, this thing freaking cooks, man. I'm gonna try and get arrow, not pedaling. 42. Yeah, it's outrageous. And gimbal brakes are not bedded in yet. Let's go ahead and give them a pull and take this thing out to the beach. But yeah, I mean, this is an absolutely outrageous electric bicycle. Frame feels fine to me, man. I don't feel any wiggling going on back there. Feels perfectly solid, dude. McLaren pulling out too. Let's not run him over, even though we could if we wanted. Woo! Another beautiful day in West LA. Let's see if we can get into settings while riding. Oh yeah, you can. It turns off the motor. I believe it turned off the motor. Yeah, advanced settings. So we could switch this thing over to class 2 mode. Let's try that out since we're, yeah, let's see what happens here. If we put class 2 set and return. So very easy, nice to operate menus. Cool, so now pedal assist 1 will give us about 263 watts. So it kind of dials everything down, you know, if you're gonna be taking it on bike paths and stuff. Pedal assist 2 gives us 330 watts. Pedal assist 3 dials it up a little more, 400 watts. Pedal assist 4, 460, and then pedal assist 5 gives you the full beams at, I couldn't quite tell. It said 850 there for a moment. Popping day out here, man. And then throttle still works, gives us, it shows about 900 watts there, dialing it down to about 850 watts. So yeah, you can switch it to class 2 if you want to make it class 2 friendly, and that should cut us off at 20, which it does. And then we'll dial this down to pedal assist 1. Does throttle still give us all the juice? Actually, now it gives us 262 watts on pedal assist 2 or 1. So throttle is now kind of giving us power in proportion to the pedal assist level we're on the class 2 mode. And we're gonna switch that back to unlocked, of course. And it turns the motor off when you're in the menus here. So this is a pretty heavy electric bicycle. If you run out of juice on this thing, you're not gonna be going very fast, and you know, unless you got the Lance Armstrong legs. But yeah, I can feel the weight here. Pedaling on gear 1, no power assistance, trying to navigate these menus. Oh yeah. All right, we navigated those menus and we're off to the races. And we're gonna try and run up this hill here between the Peoples and full throttle. And we'll go on the flat sand here in a bit, but yeah, Navi tried on these tires, all the juice. Oh my goodness. Let's see how the suspension feels going over all this rough stuff. Yeah, 4-link bar suspension with the D&M shock is good, man. Woo! What a electric bike, man. What a time to live, 2024, 2025, with all these high-powered e-bikes coming out. This is one of the fastest, best bang for the buck ones on the market. If you do end up wanting to get one of these, use that link below the video. Click on that link. If you want to help support my channel and my reviews, it would. If you buy through that link, and I would greatly appreciate your support. Is that the Professor?
Professor off the heat.
It is.
And then last we'll have the beaded seam going
It's
all
the Professor, the Professor, what is it?
you can do it?
That dude's pretty famous. So we'll swing through here later, see what's happening. Sirens, are they coming for us? This is beyond the legal limits, in case you didn't know, for an e-bike, for street riding anyway. Let's just see if we can power through this from a dig uphill in the sand. Heck yeah, we can. I think this guy's about to fight the garbage can out here. There's somebody in there, dude.
Hey, Monica, unnamed business. Call me up for the last time. Give me my phone. Give me my phone.
Oh, she gave it to him. She just popped her head out of there.
You're lucky I didn't get you, you piece of shit. Don't call me a fucking bitch puncher, you suck. You're a piece of
I better get out of here, man. They got
You're
weapons.
lucky.
What did I just witness over there? All right, let's shoot our B-roll. Oh gosh, that guy's walking over this way and he has a stick. I got a stick too here. All right, let's feel this thing out. Riding on the boardwalk, and we're just gonna rip out here now. Oh man, that thing was like riding a wheelie. I kind of popped up on the front a bit there. So it's showing 3,300 watts, just absolutely decimating the sand as expected. And now we have the controller out of that box that used to be sealed up in, so it's gonna probably build up less heat. It does show motor temperature is 174, not pedaling at all, pulling 10 to 13 miles an hour, just kind of pulling through the soft sand here. Yeah, I feel like that front wheel's about to come off the ground. It's putting out so much power. 3,100 watts I'm letting off here for a moment now that we're getting down here. So yeah, the Navi Tread, 26 inches tall, is the absolute best for traction, getting that power down to the ground. And yeah, pretty much as expected. There's really not any other single motor geared hub motors that just absolutely decimate the sand as good as this bike does here. What is happening over here? We have a party going on. Maybe we could skate in here, see how it'll do from a stop, or slowing down from a dead stop here, just flooring it.
Connect your heart to the voice.
Yeah.
Twice as fast.
So that brought the motor temperature up to 240 Fahrenheit. I don't know like what the max is or anything. Maybe we should try ripping it out there a bit more. Yeah, so we just went that way. Let's go ahead and just cut off here and full throttle. Get this thing ripping just a bit here. Put down 3,200 watts. Man, I should really drop the PSI in these tires just a bit here. This is really hard on the controller and motor. Ball came flying at me. Yeah, this sand is like really soft, but we're pulling through. How long will it? Oh my goodness, I about lost my balance. Oh, motor temperature is 384. So doesn't like pulling that much wattage that hard.
390. So we better let that cool down, showing 86% on the battery. Cooling down. Let's see how hot the controller and motor and stuff is. Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of heat on it. And the wired motor, also a little bit hot. So that'll turn off to basically prevent the motor from burning up. Already dropping down to 300 Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, it'll turn back on now. So basically just like a temperature cutoff, because this thing put some serious power down to the ground. Oh yeah, down to the sand, that is. Let's just hop back on here. It says 260, ready, go. So I'm just gonna kind of rotate my legs a little bit, but moving at a little faster speed here. Still doing 3,300 watts. So you can only run this thing, what is it, like 1,500 RMS? And then, you know, if you're going over the RMS, it'll build up heat, basically. It can't dissipate the heat fast enough. So it's awesome that this one does give you like really high peak power, but you can only run that peak power for a certain amount of time before the motors and controllers and all that stuff accumulates too much heat to continuously output that kind of wattage. As I'm riding along here, I'm thinking, I probably would have been better off pushing about 2,000 watts instead of like full throttle at 3,400 watts, because like that additional power at such a slow speed, it really just pumps a lot of heat into the motor and is probably not really helping us propel ourselves forward as much as if I drop the PSI in the tire just a bit and just run a little bit lower power. We got the champion main coming.
Champion.
Champion.
You got a champion.
We got it, champions. So let's go try the California grade, see what kind of speeds we can hit. In case you're actually new here, that is the California incline, 12% grade. We're gonna gain about 85 feet. Rolling into the spiral section here, we're gonna have on gear 3, pedal assist 1, see how it kind of handles going around here. So just giving me a little bit of the juice, and we'll get on full throttle, why not? Yeah, you feel that suspension just sink, man. That 3,200 watts. Obviously pulling us up just fine. Now we have the Gamma 4-piston hydraulic brakes on this, which have been feeling good so far. We'll test them, put them in the full test here shortly, but popping around here, full throttle, go. And I'll just crank it on up to pedal assist 5. Why not? 3,200 watts, 20, 3,100 watts, 27, 29. Pulling hard, dude. 31 and gaining. We really should be lighting off here very soon, because, yeah, very powerful electric bicycle. Got a gang of the mini motos chilling here. And this feels a little bit sketchy, but I'm just kind of curious how fast we can hit going down the California incline. Full throttle. We have a little headwind. 41. 42, 43, hopefully the brakes work. Yeah, these 4-piston hydraulics on 203 millimeter rotors. Very nice brakes, man. Definitely could have hit a little bit higher speeds. No turn on red. We'll get out here on the PCH on the draft. Maybe catch a new top speed, I don't know. Lamborghini over there chilling with the top down. Pedal assist 5 on the PCH. Yeah, dude, we are freaking cooking, and we got the dual batteries. We're going into headwind, but we have a drive. 41 into 42. This thing is just cooking. I'm not even pedaling full throttle. We need a slingshot effect. Woo! So it seems like it'll top out right around 43. Man, absolutely cooking. We're gonna get back on the, oh gosh, don't hit those spike strips there. So that took the motor up to 215. So that just goes to show, I mean, running like higher speeds, not like, you know, cranking, you know, super low speed. We did lose the chain, and I am not gonna make the mistake of having this thing on when I fix that chain, completely power this bike off. Because the last thing you want to do is send 3,200 watts of power through this chain when your finger's down here. So I love that you can actually pedal this thing at high speed. It would be nice if it was like a narrow wide chain ring or had a double wall to help keep it on there, in case you're hitting some serious bumps or something. So let me show you what the brakes look like to stop from about 20. I didn't even pull them all the way. So I love that this one does have 4-piston hydraulic brakes and giant rotors. So let's give that another rip here. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of brakes you're gonna want on a big bike like this, man. Solid. Skirt. So it looks like we're chilling at about 76% on the battery. We're gonna head out and check the final range. I'll share my final thoughts along the way. So list price on this one is $1,999, and the link below this video in the description box. And if you do decide to buy this bike, if you buy through that link down there, it would help support my reviews.
and I greatly appreciate your support. Yes, you will have to pay tax, and also you're gonna have to pay shipping if you don't pick it up directly at the factory in Chicago. So it'll be a little bit more than $2,000, but considering the price point, there's really not much else out there on the market that can compete with this bike. I mean, 60 volts, 3,200 watts peak. We actually saw it peak out a little bit higher than that a couple times, pulling 43 miles an hour. This thing is just an absolute monster of an electric bike, especially considering the price. So if you do grab one of these, I do not think you can go wrong with this e-bike. This thing is absolutely a blast to ride. It's fast as heck. It's powerful. This thing is absolutely awesome, and I would highly recommend you buy this thing if you don't already have one. So let's head on home, check the final range. Let's take the good old-fashioned shortcut, see if we can do the Mario go-kart shortcut. We can. Still pulling 3,200 watts there. Let's head back over here, see what the professor is up to. All right, chilling at about 70%. Let's see what it's got left in it. That big box in front of us is good for getting a draft. Ah, he's moving over. All right, we'll slingshot him. 42 on the GPS, 43. Actually, I missed out pedaling. 42, 41, 42. Pulling about 2,600 watts there. Motor's staying cool. This is not good for range, but it's good for fun. Bike feels totally stable, man. All right, dude, just rolling into the neighborhood. Let's see where we are on range. So showing we did a little bit shy of 21 miles, hour 34 minutes ride time, average speed 13.2, and says 66% remaining on the dual battery, so pretty much what I'd expect. And you know, obviously I was absolutely hammering the throttle today. Did do a little bit of pedaling, not too much though, honestly. This bike is comfortable to pedal. So if you are on the fence of buying a wired Freedom, use that link down below the video. Buy through that link. This bike is awesome. You're gonna love it. I mean, for the money, the amount of power you get, the amount of battery you get, this thing is absolutely fantastic, and I would definitely recommend you buy the wired Freedom. However, if this is not the kind of electric bike for you, watch this video right here, dude, because YouTube is recommending it and they know what kind of e-bikes you want to see. Catch you over there.